I don't think it's spelled that way. I think it's
Oh, okay.
I don't think the O in there. I don't think that's correct. I don't know for sure
What's
because I haven't looked at it in a while. But I'm almost wanting to say that's actually not sayonara like goodbye. That's
I-
sayonara. But
and
whatever.
and to anyone who kind of knows history of this series, is actually the third time it's been released that I know of. The first time was on the SNES. Second time was on the PSP when they decided to try and make it 3D, and third time's the charm. It's on now the Vita.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like a platformer type game.
Yeah, it is. It's and you use a hook to get up certain platforms and everything. That's why if you look at the picture, it has like you can kind of see it.
Yeah, yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. They're in her right hand there.
Hmm.
Okay. And then Shovel Knight. That's the AAA game for the week. It's hitting
Yes,
PS4, PS3, and Vita. And
and that's
Looking
part of
forward to
the
played
that.
it. It's amazing.
that's part of the
I'm
spring fever sale.
Yep. I am rebuying.
How much
And
is that
it's
one going to be?
13.49, I believe. Yep.
They made a lot of changes to that thing too.
Really? I hadn't
Yeah,
heard that.
I think I could be wrong or not, but like there's four-player co-op for battle,
Hmm?
um,
That's new.
and it, and then there's you'll be able to actually switch out the characters. So if um, not to delve too much into like feminism or anything like that, but if you feel that you rather be a girl instead of a guy Shovel Knight, they're going to give you the option to change that out now. So you be
I
you'll be
think
the
I
girl
do
not.
vaguely remember them talking about that.
Yeah, they'll have stuff like that. You'll be able to swap out different characters as enemies. And Ozzy Castro, he has an info thread for this for Shovel Knight, and you can check out all the new updates they did to this. And it's pretty interesting just what they changed in a bit for the original Wii U 3DS version.
Yeah, I saw Kratos. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
It's,
also think I don't know if they have him added yet, but I know they were going to add a new playable character.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, and they're also going to have free DLC.
oh,
I
wow.
hadn't heard that.
Yep.
Interesting.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's going to be like a free DLC that's going to come along the way eventually.
But yeah, I want to say that I don't know if the second character is already out or not, but they were working on one because I remember somebody was talking about it and saying it completely changes the game, which I can kind of see. I don't know how different it was, but I mean, you know, the mechanics in the game are so involved in the platforming and stuff. I can definitely see it being a major change. The last thing is Ziggurat. This actually looks a decent bit. It kind of reminds me of Tower of Guns that came out a couple of weeks ago with PS Plus, but it looks to have a more magic focus. I think it has been out on Steam for a little while. I don't know how long, but I need to actually check and see the reviews for that because I'm kind of interested. It's an FPS, but roguelite, Lite, I believe is the way they're spelling it. So, you know, you get perks and all that kind of stuff as you go, but you have to, I think you have to die to re-equip and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it could be interesting. I'll have to take a look into it further. Maybe we'll have some video for that next week. If not, we'll definitely have some Shovel Knight, so be ready.
I gotta admit, though, I'm getting roguelike fatigue.
Yeah, see, I wasn't super into them. Like, I didn't get all. Some people went crazy into them. I didn't. I've played a couple of them, but I haven't gotten too deeply into them. The one I've played the most is probably Rogue Legacy,
Hmm.
and you know that's great. But that's really probably the one I've played the most. Beyond that, I haven't played overly many, so I'm not really fatigued to the kind of games yet. Let's look at our first big topic tonight, and that is Battlefront 3. Ryder, what's up with that?
All
Delayed,
right.
right?
No, no, no. But Battlefront 3 details, and they had a nice little trailer that was revealed, quote unquote in-game engine, and
Whatever that exactly means.
so yes, So it means there's no gameplay. It's just in-game footage. But like for whatever for the engine.
Yeah, I know. I'm
And so the release date was given of November 17th for this year. It will be only for PS4, or Xbox One, and PC. But there will be no past gen releases. So this will be the first ever Frostbite Engine 3 title, which is what it is. That is not going to be on past gen consoles. You'll be able to. They say you'll be able to enjoy first person, third person view. So be able to switch either or, kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes.
Not exactly, but kind of the same circumstance. And then max number of players are from 40. We'll have 40 players on screen in certain modes in order to maintain 60 frames per second, which is what the game is targeting. It'll include playable female stormtroopers. You'll be able to customize characters, but some people were kind of upset that they said there is no pink Darth Vader if you're trying to go for that.
It's Darth Vader.
I don't know. It's maybe your lifelong dream, Mike. But
No. It's Darth Vader.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I meant that Darth Vader. And it'll include co-op missions for online and split screen. There'll be a free Battle Jakku. I'm probably saying it wrong. Jakku DLC.
Jakku, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll be in December. So that'll be for free. There'll be, but the only things are there is no single player campaign, unlike the previous games in the series. There'll be no content that will come over from prior games in the franchise, which they were doing up until the last Battlefront game. This one won't have any of the content from there. And there will also be no epic space battles, if people remember, when it comes to other Battlefront games. But you will be able to jump into TIE Fighters, X-Wings, speeder bikes, ATSTs, and ATs, and the Millennium Falcon. So next question. So some people are wondering, is this another Battlefield 4 game but with a Star Wars skinned look? And is this lowered player count of 40 from DICE's trademark 64 a concern?
Not really. I mean, I honestly think if a game's balanced around 40, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it sounds like a good scale of players to work from.
So like a 20 versus 20, it sounds like.
Yeah, or they could even do a 30 versus 10 if they play their cards right. It just depends. I mean, I actually don't. I like the asynchronous stuff. I think more games should look at it, but doing it correctly is the tricky part.
Yeah, I mean, many have done it well so far. But
but a lot of them focused on like 4 versus 1 or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little different when you're looking at much higher numbers. But I mean, if they give, like, say, the Imperials some big advantage and have it 10 versus 30, I mean, that could work, and I actually would be interested to see how that plays out. But we'll see.
What do you guys think about some people thinking this Battlefield 4 game reskinned with Star Wars? This came up because they mentioned multiple times, it's going to have the Battlefield 4 trademarked destruction, and some people are like all scratching their head, like, why isn't it just Star Wars? The classic Star Wars Battlefront destruction. Why does it have to be? Why do you have to reference that?
Because it's Frostbite.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna find its own identity with all the Star Wars themed vehicles and weapons and things like that. I'm sure you'll be able to differentiate it.
I don't really recall any destruction in Battlefront 2. Granted, I haven't messed with that game in a long time now, but I mean, aside from vehicles being destroyed and I think capital ships at the end of maps, I don't recall any actual destruction.
It's just that it looks like there's gonna be more in-your-face explosions that Battlefield's known for.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of explosions and stuff from Star Wars too, if you really look at it. I just think commenting on some comments and some in-game footage when we haven't even really seen gameplay yet is a bit premature to start saying, oh, it's going to be a Battlefield reskin. And I mean, it's like, at least wait for gameplay. If you want to start talking about it then, I mean, that's one thing. But when we haven't even seen gameplay yet, I think it's a bit premature to start, talking about
that. But what do you guys think about the removal of the campaign mode or space combat found in prior games, the franchise? Is that maybe a turnoff? And does the co-op missions maybe make up for the lost content?
Kind of depends on how deep the co-op missions are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to have some kind of story around this game, but are they going Destiny route? Is it going to be that thin of a story?
No, they said it's going to be like a mission mode where it's going to have bots on screen. Like it'll make you feel as if there's. When they explain it, they said you'll feel as if like you'll have a multiplayer match. You'll feel like a multiplayer match, but you'll have missions to complete. But it mostly will be bots on the map while you're playing with maybe two people. And they also said there's going to be a split screen, so I'm pretty sure that's how they're going to round it out.
I honestly thought that's what Battlefront 2 did. But again, I didn't get very far into that game. I mean, maybe there were little story sequences, but
yeah, there was.
It wasn't much. I mean, and it didn't actually have much of a campaign. I mean, it was basically just, oh, you're a soldier in, a multiplayer match and everybody else is bots. I don't really see the issue as long as the co-op missions are basically a campaign of some sort and just, co-op form.
Well, they said it's just going to be missions, so it's going to pretty much feel as if it's like offline co-op, like offline multiplayer. That's what it's going to feel like. And then for the other Battlefront games, it had mission structures similar to that, but the thing is, like, it had like story sequences kind of entwining the story so that you could feel as if, why am I on this planet? Like, oh, that's why I'm on the planet now. Or I'm doing this mission, that's why I'm doing it. Well, as for this one, they said it's not going to be really having a structure like that. It's just going to be just missions that you can complete, and there'll be no, like, real sequences to deal with.
Did they actually go out and confirm that there won't be story sequences?
No, they just said they say it's just going to just have regular missions. That's all they said. So it's for people who want kind of like a single-player co-op campaign type of deal.
Yeah, I don't really see the issue because I really didn't think that the old Star Wars games had much of a story in them, Battlefront-wise, anyway. Now, if you're looking at something like Knights of the Old Republic or Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight 2, something like that, I mean, sure, but I really didn't think that Battlefront had all of that great of a story. And I mean, heck, there's many people that make Star Wars fan fiction and fan movies and stuff. I mean, they're just going to make up a story anyway, dude.
Yeah, just fill in the blanks.
and then PS3 owners were kind of asking, they kind of were berating the developer about this, but if you were to look in the comments and everything, when this story broke out, but the PS3 owners were kind of asking, why isn't this coming to their platform despite the trailer? Kind of when you look at the trailer, it shows that there's absolutely no PS3 or 360 or Wii U version, or what you want to call it. Should they continue holding on the false hope? Because, like, the developer already said that's not what they're going to be focusing on.
I think it's done. They're not going to be... I mean, it's just the PS4 is selling so well. It won't be much longer till I don't think you see that many PS3 games coming out. I mean, there will still be occasional releases, I'm sure, but I mean, like, Persona 5, I kind of feel like if they had to do it over again, they'd consider just doing a PS4 game, but, when they announced it, it wasn't a foregone conclusion that PS4 was going to come out, and sell like hotcakes or something. So, I mean, I think they'd definitely consider a PS4-only version of Persona 5 when that's coming, if they were to announce it now. But obviously that didn't happen. I mean, but you did see they went ahead and they're like, oh, hey guys, that Persona 5 game, it's coming to PS4 as well. So I really think as we keep going, especially through this year, that we're going to see less and less PS3 releases anyway. And
I gotta imagine that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's and I mean, like, I hate it for them because I know there's some people that really don't want to upgrade because of money or whatever. But at
Yep.
the same time, I mean, you got to realize this is the way it is every console cycle. If this is your first
Right.
console cycle, this is the way it has been since 1985. And I mean, if you really don't like that, you're gonna have to go into the PC business and start looking at, how that works, because that's just the simple way it is. And I mean, even with PC, you're gonna have to upgrade occasionally. But it's that's just the marching forward of technology. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. And
Yeah,
I
I'm all for
mean,
progress. And,
Yeah.
and spending that time
Spending
on developing more features for the next gen platforms and not splitting it off.
Yeah, and like I think we're clearly seeing where last gen is kind of holding current gen back. I mean, look at Witcher 3 and even stuff like that. I mean, look at all the stuff they were able to do with GTA 5 on next gen compared to last gen, or current gen rather than compared to last gen. I mean, it's I just think we're at the point where more and more developers are going to start looking at it, and publishers too are going to say, it's a really viable alternative now. The PS4 has sold, what would we hear last, 22.5 or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Some
really
random
high.
number like that. And I think Xbox is probably getting toward 15 million, or at least 12 and a half. So I mean, before it was, you're looking at 80 million PS4s, around 80 million Xbox 360s, and you didn't really, there wasn't much competition on the PS4 and Xbox One yet, so you could kind of get by with a port and do that. But going forward, there's so many good games coming out on both systems that are being focused on them. I mean, you got Witcher 3, you got Batman, you had Dying Light earlier this year, and you had something else recently. I mean, you were also getting exclusives, of course, like Quantum Break next year, I believe, and Bloodborne just a few weeks ago. And it's just it's really going to be tough for the cross-console or cross-generation titles to stand out. I mean, they've already said Titanfall 2 has been focused on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and I believe they said the same thing about the next Destiny. So,
Yep.
I mean, with all due respect, Activision, think about it, people. This is Activision saying that they're going to not be releasing on PS3 360. They want to release a game on anything they can get their hands on. They'd release it on, a TI-84 if they could, and make money off of it. For those that are unfamiliar, that's a graphing calculator.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. I just remember random people had those, like, because they were like $100, and they'd have games on them, and it's like, really? That's kind of random. But I mean, if they really thought there was a market there, they would try to find some way to have something like Destiny on a TI-84, but I just think it's becoming more and more and more that there's going to be less of a market there, especially if they're going to focus on current gen stuff.
And what is it? Are you guys okay with a multiplayer focused only Battlefront? And is
Yep.
this kind of a yes or no purchase after finding out a few of the details and seeing the trailer?
I'm still
waiting to
excited for it, yeah.
I'm excited, but I'm still waiting to see. I want to see gameplay. I want to actually test out a beta or something before I go all in or something like that. But I'm interested. I mean, and some of the other stuff you were talking about, the space battles, they were okay in Battlefront 2. I mean, they definitely added a cool layer to them, but at the same time, I didn't really feel the flying was all that amazing. I'm sure they could improve that, obviously, but I do think that it's kind of its first foray back on the scene, and I think the focus of ground battles with vehicles will definitely help. I would have liked to see space battles too, but I actually can sort of understand what they're going with. Maybe for Battlefront 4. Maybe.
Yep.
One thing I didn't get. So, like, they're not letting you do, like, peak Darth Vader and stuff like that. And I would venture to guess that's because you're going to be using, the characters themselves. And so they're going to be, you're going to be using Yoda, or you're going to be using Darth Vader, or you're going to be using whoever, Boba Fett. And I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of weird changing.
Yeah, you don't want to kill the trademark.
Something different, exactly. And but that's what kind of made it odd to me about female stormtroopers, because spoiler alert, they're all kind of clones, and so that was a bit odd to me. I'm guessing that's just a marketing move to try to get more diversity, I guess, in that. Yep. But I just
well, if you want to throw your fan fiction in there, you could have like some Tatooine girl steals a uniform or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there are ways you could get to that. And I'm not opposed to it. I just thought it was kind of odd, that they're saying on the one hand, hey, you can't be, another Darth Vader. You're going to be Darth Vader with the standard, black outfit, blah, blah, blah. But yet on the other hand, they're like, oh yeah, you can be a female stormtrooper. And it's like, okay, I'm trying to work out how that works in the lore. But... like you said, they're going to be making up their own stories. So I guess that works. I don't, I'm not really opposed to it. Like I say, I'm just bringing the question out there because nobody else has really said anything about it that I've saw. But yeah, I mean, the multiplayer focus I'm okay with as long as, you've got friends playing it, especially.
And the only reason I came up is because, like, Evolve has just a pure multiplayer focus, and like you can play single player, bro, but who's gonna do that? But yeah, it was just one of those things that was brought up, and like, I don't know, the community had brought it up.
I think the already installed fan base that you have for Star Wars is a lot higher than Evolve, though.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I kind of felt the same way about Battlefront 2. Like, when I was playing around with single player just to kind of learn the game, But at the same time, like, I didn't really see much point in playing single player, after I kind of got the basics down.
Okay.
I just never really saw the point. I mean, the whole point of that game was to be played online with the group. So I thought single player kind of left it lacking.
And it could be the reason why they're excluding it out.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are people that are disagreeing with me right now and throwing their stuff at their monitors or throwing their iPods out windows. I don't care. I mean, hey, if you're going to throw your iPod out a window, make sure you're on a very high window, because I want that thing to just shatter. I will be, actually, if you throw your iPod out a window, I will be very happy. But yeah, I don't know. I just never found the appeal. That's my thing. Like, I really like the Star Wars aspects, but I just didn't see the single player appeal. But whatever.
Yeah, so, and as for me, like, I want to. Two things is I'm gonna temper myself from even being excited for the game, because I want to see, like what you guys said, like gameplay footage, and then two, I haven't bought an EA title since Battlefield 4 for the third time. So,
Ryder, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
And actually, you did buy one. It's called Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
That doesn't count. That was for free.
No, you bought it.
Oh yeah, because of the sale.
Yep. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good game.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to see what DICE is gonna do after all the problems they had with Battlefield 4. I'm gonna be curious to see what they're gonna do this time around.
Probably Echo be really bad again.
Well, they got it working actually pretty decent in 4, at least on PC. I have no idea on PS4.
Oh, it was really bad.
But and Hardline's been pretty solid for me so far. Different developer, but I mean some of the same tweaks and whatnot. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think I'm more fearful of DICE's work now. So
yeah, hopefully that will be something that they'll alleviate. I'm really hoping that'll be the
Yeah,
case.
especially for an online-only game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's go from 3 to 4, Ryder. We have Street Fighter 4 for the PS4.
Yep. Just some small sweet details that came out for it. For one, it will be a digital-only release. It will be dropping on May 26th, so it's going to be coming out very soon. Will cost about $24.99 for those who want it for the cheap, because it's going to be coming out cheap. And then it will include all the DLC that has been released so far. Doesn't mean there's going to be more coming, but we just got that there. So it kind of begs the question, why is this so cheap? And don't normally ports cost like $4 or more, especially with a history of Street Fighter 4 re-releasing multiple times at full $60 retail price. And why go digital?
Actually, some of the re-releases were available, like for as an expansion pass or something for, I don't know, like $20. You just had to buy the digital version, like if you already had, like I forget the second version what they called it. Maybe it was Turbo or Super Street Fighter 4 or something like that. But then when they re-released the third version, where they did other updates, they actually let you download like an expansion pass or something like that. So I mean, as far as why is it so cheap, I imagine there's not a whole lot they changed about the game. As particularly graphically, I'm sure they just kind of up-resed a little bit and made sure the frame rate was good.